I did not know silence could be this loud. I still wake up reaching for your side of the bed, like my body had not caught up with my head. We said we needed space, your time would fix it, but distance only showed me what I missed. I replay every fight like it just happened, every word I heard but did not feel. I held it together where it looked strong, but fell apart where it was real. I thought loving you was enough, I thought effort wouldn't mean something. Now I am standing in the quiet of everything I should have done. These emotions do not turn off just because we said goodbye. Love does not know how to leave without staying on the inside. I am standing in the aftermath of dreams I could not save. These emotions still know me, even as I walk away.
I see your shadow in familiar places. Songs on the radio hit different now. I learned how to read your breathing, but never learned how to speak out loud. I thought I had more time to change it. I thought tomorrow would always be there. Now the house remembers you better than me, and the nights feel unfair.
I never meant to make you feel alone, I just did not know how to show up whole. Now every word I swallowed is louder than anything I told. These emotions do not turn off just because we said goodbye. Love does not fade politely, it stays and asks me where. I am standing in the wreckage of words I could not say. These emotions still know me, even as I walk away. I want it forever, I just did not know how to protect it. I wanted peace, could avoid it, the truth when it mattered. I thought holding on was enough, but love needed more than that. These emotions do not turn on, they just learn how to hide. They sit quietly in the corners, waiting for the right night. I can say I am stronger now, I can say I am okay, but these emotions still know me, even as I walk. These emotions in the space where I can let you go. Feeling safe to say. No one leaves unchanged by love, no one leaves the same. These emotions still know me, even as I walk away. I loved you the best way I knew how, I just learned too late.
Hey, everybody. My name is William Rochelle. You can call me Bill, and I am excited to be here. We are going to have a conversation that is super important to me, and I think it should be super important to the world. We're watching healthcare shift in real time. In addition to healthcare shifting, programs are being reduced, funding is being pulled back, access is tightening, and when that happens, it's not abstract. It hits people, it hits families, it hits communities. So that's why we're here. Our first guest, when he decides to show up, is Paul Thomas. And Paul Thomas is in Southern Florida. He is, I believe, at some type of advocacy meeting or group, and he's late. So, with that being said, let me get Jackie's comment off. And Dr. Cambria, let's start with you. And
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, Paul's logging on now. We talk crap about him. So I'm it's as I don't know how long it's going to take him, but let's just talk for a second, so that you don't get interrupted when he comes on. But yesterday, I went to Walgreens to pick up my prescriptions, and I had to make a choice between one of my prescriptions and food. And prior to this administration, my prescriptions were free. Every single one of them were free. And that was traumatic for me because I've worked really hard and I didn't do anything wrong. It's just the state of the world right now. With that said, at William Rochelle 153, that's my PayPal account, y'all. So I literally have $60 in my PayPal account. My bank account is closed because that's what happens when you don't have an income. And every day I get up and I try to have as much empathy and excitement for everyone out there. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, late to the stage is Paul Thomas. Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, you're coming in and out. Okay.
We can hear you fine. So just tell us where you're at right now. I know that you advocated for the healthcare, that Ron DeSantis had misused those funds for something else. And you, along with other people from ADAP, worked to get those funds released. Where are we at with that?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Sorry, I'm walking out, doing multiple things today. We did not say that he misused the fund. They said that they used the fund for other things. We never said that.
Okay.
They also didn't say what for. What they said is they don't have the fund. They said that they're missing about $120 million. Funds itself, because of the way the rebates work and the way that health insurance works, we know that there should be more.
And this is what happens when you advocate for people. You know, he's out there in the streets trying to make things work. So what he said was $120 million is missing from Florida, from the state of Florida. $120 million that was sent from the federal government. And this is not a part of the ACA. It was for other programs related to healthcare. And I think he's back. Hey, stand still and stop walking. Paul? Sir? Man on the street?
Hello there. I'm sorry,
Hey.
I don't know what happened.
Why don't you stop walking? Stop. Stand in one place.
I'm good to stop right here. I just had to get off the sidewalk there. Now I can stop.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So what we did is we asked for federal regulatory agencies to come down and help audit the books. which they have a legal right to do, to find out where their accounting may have gone wrong and why they feel like they could not find $120 million. An organization called AHF also made an injunction to stop this altogether. They have since made a second injunction, which is in front of a circuit court judge right now in Leon County. His name is Don C. Cooper. And we're hoping to get a real ruling from him, because he can also stop all these things that the Department of Health is doing on their own outside of really what their legal ability is. We also know that the Senate has put $118 million in a line item in the budget. They're reviewing the budget right now for the state of Florida. The House was at about 68 million the last I heard, but they were open to putting more. The most important thing that people can do right now as we go through this process, once the first injunction was made, it was because the Department of Health didn't follow the rules process. They then made a public announcement that they were going to follow the rules process. When they did that, it stopped that injunction from being heard in front of a judge, which is why a second injunction has been made, which is now in front of a circuit court judge. This process takes a long time. People have until March 4th legally for public comment. And so the most important thing people can do right now, and I can send you a link.
Yes.
There are many links online, but I can send you one as well. You can pin it to this video. Is for people to write in for the public comment. It's very, very important right now that all those legislators up there hear from as many people as possible about how this is going to affect and disrupt their lives. One of the things that I have happening right now is there's a couple of organizations and some researchers who are working on the economic impact to the state of Florida should this go through. Because I think, and this is going to be the most important thing coming up this week, I'm really excited to receive this data. And the reason is because a lot of people who don't have HIV or don't know anyone who has HIV, they feel like this is not going to affect them.
Right.
As many of us know, nobody lives on an island. The ripple effects and the way that things work, we're all connected. What I'm looking forward to doing, really to hopefully get us over the finish line, is to really push the economic impact with real data and numbers so that people can understand why their property tax is going to go up, or why their food is going to go up, or why things are going to happen to their lives, even though they feel disconnected from this issue, and the reason why it's going to happen to their lives. I think it's very important that we now really help people to be able to connect those dots and help them understand that they are connected to this issue.
So can I ask you a question, Paul?
Sure.
So
I think I
It's-
see, I'm sorry, I can't see the name. Dr. Cambria Norwood?
yes.
Wosu. Yes.
No,
I'm sorry, I pronounced it wrong.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. You look so familiar. I'm like, do I follow her on Instagram? Okay.
you probably do.
Probably do.
You do. Are you a nurse?
I am a nurse.
do a
Yes,
lot-
I'm on Instagram.
Yes, you are. I
At
follow
CJN
you on
Legal
Instagram.
Nurse. Yes.
She
I
is
follow you.
fire. I was telling her that before the show.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah, you're
all-
doing a great job. You're doing a great
all
job.
three of you guys, what I want people to hear is that we have 4 people that are fighting outside of just our basic communities. And as Paul said, you may not know someone who has HIV and think, oh, it doesn't affect you or doesn't affect, but you don't know what your neighbor's dealing with. You don't know what your child is dealing with. because they could hide it from you. And up until
Well,
now, HIV has been very, very well controlled. But Florida, and this is what I was going to ask you, is banning certain medications, HIV medications, from being.
no, they're not banning the medication. What they did is they took one medication called Biktarvy
Mhm.
off the formulary because they said it was too expensive. And they said
Is it
that
the
they would
best?
rather. It's an excellent medication. I mean, since our single pill regimens these days are great. The reason why Biktarvy is going to be such it's causing an impact inside the clinics and with the patients is because 67% of the people who receive HIV treatment in the state of Florida are on Biktarvy. So that's tens of thousands of people that are on this medication. And they keep saying things very flippantly, like, "We'll just switch the medication, or we'll just put them on the components." But that's not how this
It
medication works.
works.
That's not how HIV treatment works. You can't just switch people to whatever you feel like switching them to. There's a lot of tests. There's a lot of things people can't take. There are a lot of clinical decisions that have to be made, and she can confirm that for me as a clinician. There's a lot of clinical
Absolutely.
decisions that have to go into changing someone's regimen. It's not just writing a different kind of a script and you just go on with your day. And so the logistics of that are, how do you get 20,000, 30,000 people into see their doctors within a couple of weeks in time to make this medication change? It's not really possible by the time you're doing labs and waiting for results and trying to make your decisions. These things all take time.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
One other question that people can consistently ask that I've asked the legislature, I've asked our local, uh, we were able to pass some resolutions here in Miami Beach and in Miami-Dade County, but I've said, when you get a chance to talk to anyone connected to Tallahassee, ask them why they have to do this in this way, right? And why it has to be under this timing. Because they're claiming an emergency. What just came out on Friday is they're trying to claim that there's an emergency and that this has to happen on March 1st. That emergency rule is for weather
Slow,
events like hurricanes.
slow down for a
Yes.
second.
Mhm.
So I just need to update people. So in December, I didn't know if I was going to have healthcare at all. In January, I received healthcare, but it's not the same as I had previously, which is why I had to make the choice. Then when I got it in January, I was told in February that they were canceling my insurance by March 1st. That's how I got connected. I have a friend, Josette. Josette is friends with Paul. And and I called her crying, saying, "What am I going to do?" And Paul called me right away. And so
Well, she
that's how,
texted me, yeah.
yeah, that's how Paul and I connected. So what are you talking about March 1st? Are you saying there's a possibility
Okay.
that I won't have insurance March 1st, or
No,
what are you
no, no,
saying?
no, no. No, well, in that case, why I contacted you is that letter was illegal, right? The state doesn't have a right to cancel your health insurance. And so you have health insurance. And when I have meetings with health insurers, they say, well, there's a 90-day grace period if someone doesn't pay their premium on time. And so, after the first 30 days, we still do the fill. And after the next 60 days, and then we have this process that we have to go through. And by the 90-day limit, then we have to make some serious decisions about whether the person can stay on, if they can maintain that health insurance plan or not. The issue being, they don't have a right to cancel your insurance, right? Only you can cancel your health
Right,
insurance.
but
It's
I can't
yours.
afford $4,000. I'm going
Right,
to wrap up.
right.
I'm going to wrap up, Paul, because I know Paul has a hard stop, and Dr. Cambria has a hard stop. Paul, you're going to get more information this week, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So
So everybody keep an eye on Today's March 1st. Keep an eye on what happens tomorrow. I keep saying, so what's going to happen? So what's going to happen? Right? The public comment goes until March 4th. They say on March 1st, they're just not going to pay for premiums. But they never pay the premium on March 1st. It takes a long time to pay premiums for 128,000 people. That doesn't happen. So then what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do. What are you going to do when someone shows up at ADAP tomorrow who's not following the news and isn't aware of what's going on? They say, I need my meds. I'm waiting for patients to contact me and let me know, what exactly are they going to say to you? I'd like to know what
Yeah.
they're going to say. But yes, I'll have a lot more information this week coming up. We have a couple of very important meetings that are happening this week, and the fight will continue.
So
But
this
I
is what
thank
I'm
you
going to
for letting
do.
me come on today and talk about this. If anyone is listening and has any questions, feel free to write in or to contact me through Instagram or Facebook. And
You're
it's
going to send me
really
the
nice to
link.
meet you, Dr.
Paul,
Did I
you're going to
say
send me
it
the link. Paul,
right? I don't know if I said it right, but it's
you
very nice
did.
to meet you.
And Martha.
And we should connect.
And
There's a
Martha.
lot more to talk about.
So this is what I'm going to do. I have a breaking news segment. When you get your information, it's
All right. I
15
don't know if you
minutes.
can hear me.
Well, it's okay. I'm about to hang up on
I
you.
can't hear anyone talking anymore.
Okay. All right. Bye, Paul.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the premise of what's going on in Florida. And
It's a mess.
It's a mess. And so
it's not pretty. And I was just listening to Paul, and I think you had asked a really great question about Biktarvy itself, right? And just this is the result of people, first of all, not in healthcare, that have no idea what they're doing, making these huge policy decisions and don't know the ripple effects of any of it. And so, yes, Biktarvy is one of the best drugs on the market for HIV. There's so many reasons for it. Basically, the biggest thing is it has fewer interactions with other drugs, because 9 times out of 10, if you're on HIV, most likely you're on other medications. And so it's an easier treatment option. There's more compliance with it. And that's the whole point of HIV. We want people to be compliant so they can stay healthy, so they can stay out of clinics, so they can stay out of ERs. And so it's just the fact that I hear 120 million is missing is frightening. I mean, it's not missing. Like something else is going on, obviously, but it's just to say it nonchalantly like that. I'm like, that's not normal. That's not normal at all. So I'm just concerned not only for the patient, because obviously the patient is going to suffer immediately. Changes take time. You can't just switch to another drug in a drop of a hat. You have to go through significant lab testing and then actually transition over to something else that may or may not work for you. But also this funding, from what I saw in my research, also funds these clinics. So now we're going to have staffing issues. Nurses, doctors, techs, lab personnel, they may not have jobs. So then now if you take that piece out of it, now people are forced to go into the ERs, and the ERs are already stressed. So it's just a ripple effect that actually is now you're going to end up spending more money taking care of these patients instead of actually doing the preventative care that was already there. So it's just very concerning.
So someone asked me last night, why am I always watching the news? And it's because it directly affects me. It directly affects me. The healthcare directly affects me. Why do I follow you? Because you give me information. I think I learned from you that they had defunded mental health at one point. And, the first thing I thought is that someone on anxiety meds, antidepressants, anything like that, if they go cold turkey, they can become suicidal.
Right.
That's what that's what I've heard, right?
Yeah, it's a possibility, absolutely.
And it's because it creates an immediate chemical imbalance that shifts their moods. So I'm going to say it again. I don't care if your 401k is fantastic. This is more than that. This is life and death.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
matter if you're not alive. It
right,
doesn't
this is
matter.
this is life and death, and
Yeah.
you know, it could affect your children. I know teens that are on antidepressants, and 20-year-olds are on antidepressants. I take antidepressants, and I take them because I haven't worked in 2 years. I'm 100%, you know, like I said earlier, in January I didn't have insurance, then I did. Now they're saying in March I won't, you know, and that's where Paul kind of comes in and says, relax, little tiger. You know, it's going to take longer than that, but that doesn't give me relief. That doesn't give me peace of mind when every single minute you're being told something different. And then the job market itself,
Right.
they've been lying about the numbers. So, you know, you're looking at just an entire ethos of chaos. And people want to pretend like it's okay. And I'm going to say this, and people can get mad at me, but for those that say I'm not paying attention, I have no respect for that. I just don't, because if you're not paying attention, then you don't recognize that the money that it could take to save my life just went to bombing Iran.
Hmm.
Why do we bomb Iran? Because the Clintons testified on Friday. Why do we bomb Venezuela? Because it was the same day that the Epstein files were supposed to come out. If you guys are not watching the pattern, if you're not watching the pattern, you're complicit in the possibility of someone dying or someone committing suicide because they're not on their mental health meds, or. And it takes 5 seconds to really understand what's going on. And that's why Dr. Cambria is on. I will never, I will try to say your last name, but I know I will
No, no
butcher it.
worries. No, no worries.
So
It's a very specific Nigerian name, so it's okay.
so like, let's talk what gets you up, and as Paul said, I recognize you. And I told you before, you are doing big things. When you said yes to this,
Yeah,
I about fell out. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
I
how is this
appreciate that.
happening? But
Yeah.
what makes you do what you do? Because you talk about everything.
Yeah, and it's hard. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it and say this is an easy thing. Like for those who are on don't know me, I am Dr. Cambria Nwosu. So I'm a nurse, but I have my doctorate in nursing practice, and my focus is healthcare advocacy, um, basically civil rights. I'm really big on civil rights. Even as a nurse, I get a lot of flack for that for some reason, which makes no sense to me. And what gets me up, to answer your question, there's like two sides of me. I'm a legal nurse consultant, so I'm actually working alongside lawyers and law firms and insurance companies on medical malpractice cases behind the scenes. So I kind of see the inner workings of what's going on and making sure that patients that were harmed get the justice that they need. But on the back end, and this happened to me, I would say about a couple of years ago, I just saw a shift in the landscape when it came to media, and not social media per se, just mainstream media. And the topics and the stories that we really need to know about on a daily basis, we were just not getting. And that was 2 years ago. And I started noticing that
It's
shift early
worse
on.
now.
It's absolutely worse now. It's non-existent now. It's really not. Every single outlet has a script, and that's what they use, and it's fed by our administration. Everyone knows that. So that's a problem, because now you're not getting the nuanced stories of what's going on in Florida or what's going on in California. You just won't get them. And I said that's not right. And so patients are walking into a lot of their situations in hospitals or in their clinics blind. They don't know what's going on. They don't know why now all of a sudden millions of people don't have health insurance. And I said, the least I can do, I even as a nurse in my little space, is to at
It's
least sit
not
and
little. Your space is huge.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But that's what gets me going. It's just, I think every single person deserves to be informed. Now, what you do with that information, I can't help you with that. And I'm not here to debate with people about facts. But if I can make it in a more linguistic way where people understand, because a lot of times, especially with medicine, you start using the medical jargon, it goes over people's heads, and you're like, I'm lost. And my whole being is, let's make it attainable where you understand, and then you can do something with that information. So that's what gets me going. And I think, unfortunately, it's a shame that we're not getting this information firsthand as it's happening. And I do believe people deserve to know, and then they can make their own decisions.
I'm going to drop off and I'm going to let you and Martha answer this question. Can you see it?
I can see it. Hi, Martha. Sorry. How close are we really to a system-wide breaking point? That's a good question. I don't think we're there yet, because in my view, and again, everyone's going to have their own view on this, there's organized chaos right now. The chaos that we're seeing is very organized. It's very deliberate. And to me, healthcare is shifting risks onto the patients, onto the people, and it's being done on purpose. And I honestly think, like, as long as we're seeing that shift and we're pushing back on it, I think that's where it can basically stay sustainable. I just don't see a breaking point yet, unfortunately, because people still need healthcare. They still need to see their doctors. Nurses, doctors, anyone in healthcare is still feeling burnout, but there's still so many people that want to just do the right thing and take care of people. So, but I do think private equity, eventually something's going to have to give. Like, private equity is a problem. And it's just, like I said, that's a very hard question, because there's just no timeline. There's no timeline. I think we're going to keep seeing the risk of healthcare being put on the patient. But my question is, for the patient, are you going to keep allowing that risk to be put on you? So, okay. So sorry. I see like multiple questions now. Sorry.
You know why? Because did Martha actually get a chance to answer?
No, go ahead, Martha.
I'm so
Martha?
sorry. What was the question?
How close
Can you hear
are
me?
we really to a system-wide breaking point?
Oh, we're very close. By 2030, we're expecting to be in our very high peak. This health is not just going to affect seniors, it's clearly going to affect people in their 30s and their 40s, because we are just heading down a very and also we're having shortages of medical professionals. And if I'm so sorry, I can't see her name on the screen right now. If you could share a little bit about that too, because that's also going to be affecting the healthcare field as well. And just
You're muted, Dr. Campbell.
touching base.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that, Martha. Thanks for that. Yes, where we're already breaking, though, just to be specific.
I'll be right back.
No worries.
Is so bad. I'll be back though.
No worries. Where we're already breaking, so there's a lot of places. We already spoke about behavioral health, mental health. So, ERs are overcrowded. Psych wards are closing, or psychiatric hospitals are closing. So now these psychiatric patients are now in ERs where it's inappropriate. We have month-long outpatient waits, right? And then you got maternal health. We have maternal care deserts all over this country, and rural hospitals are closing. That's one of my biggest things I report on. There's always a hospital closing. OBs are shutting down. There's longer transport times now for patients that need that type of care. So, I mean, then we have primary care access, right? We do not have, to Martha's point, we do not have enough clinicians. We do not. And so this is where we can lean on our nurse practitioners and our physician assistants, but there's not enough of them either. So that's an issue as well. And then, of course, insurance is going to be the biggest issue. At the end of the day, most people, especially now, are underinsured. So high deductibles, but narrow networks. So that means we're covered, but you still can't access certain drugs or care needs that you need. So I think, unfortunately, those portions are already breaking. But to make it more so system-wide, now you have to now start talking about hospital finances and where those cracks are at, workforce shortages again, and then, public health shocks like these epidemics we're seeing, measles, and, COVID starting to rise back up again, and the flu, just simple things that we thought we've, lowered and tempered down. Now we're stacking those on top of hospitals that already have thin capacity. So it's just so layered. And I think it's just really hard to say this one issue, right? It's just too many things happening at the same time.
So we talked about mental health. We talked about Florida and the HIV epidemic, women's health. So it's so, as you just said, layered. Who has not been targeted? What group is safe?
It's not.
What?
Can I say something?
At the end of the day, I think, yeah, go ahead, Martha. You're back on.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. This topic is just so hot that my connection was like, nope, not happening today. But what's happening is I just had a conversation with here in the community through Nextdoor about health and the unhoused community, because that's who I serve. And we speak a lot about health, right? But there's the social determinants of health. And I'm sure you know about this, Dr. Cambria. And I'm big on advocating for that, because it is layered and there's so many different, like that circle with all the areas of who's affected, who can be, but education, our folks that are not educated, are low income, are minorities. These are, and I was reading on Florida, these are going to be the folks that are going to be affected the most. But not only them, their families, their children, the grandparents. I mean, it's going to trickle down. This is what's going to increase more unhoused people. And our folks that are, well off, right? And I know you mentioned something about the 401k, even our folks that are well off. What is someone said here on LinkedIn before? Our health is our wealth. Without it, we don't have anything. So yeah, this is huge. Dr. Cambria, I'm gonna pass it back over to you, because I really am interested in hearing what you're gonna say about that too. For me, I just think it's across all borders, and I used to think that it was, the most wealthy people, right, are gonna obviously not be affected, but it's not true. Coming from working in a hospital setting, it's not true. It can happen to anyone. Anyone can be laying in that gurney, and guess what? You're not gonna get special treatment. Okay, you're not going to get special treatment.
The part that I think a lot of people forget, Martha, is that even if you did invest well, one bout in the hospital can wipe out that 401k. So
precisely,
I've been up and I've been down, right? And right now I'm down. And when you talk about health as wealth, I don't even have my health. You know, so it is a struggle for me every single day to find a good reason to get up. And no one understands it because I'm not going to go over all of my health issues, right? I'm not, I'm just not. But, you know, I just had to walk away because I had to use a restroom. Why'd I have to use a restroom? Because my kidneys are functioning at 40% or at 40. And so, Dr. Cambria, you understand that my doctor's telling me that
Yes.
you're about to go into chronic kidney disease. You know, so it is every single day there is a different challenge, and I don't even have a bank account. I have $60 in a PayPal account, and 40 of it is for telmisartan, which is to protect my kidneys, and I can't afford to get it out. You know, think about that. Think about it. And so this is personal for me, everybody. I apologize, but understanding where we're at from a medical perspective and the implications, let's stop being selfish. Let's stop thinking it's not affecting me right now. Because if I don't get my telmisartan and my doctor's already telling me you're at 40, so I was at 60, I dropped 20 points in 90 days. And so she said, that's too fast. So, you know, and everyone's like, oh, you know, why aren't you cheery? Because I'm dealing with life. I'm dealing with life. So, Dr. Cambria, how do you stay grounded and have it not affect you in a negative way? Because you're putting out.
It does affect me.
Okay.
It does affect me. I mean, I am human, and I think we also have to remember everyone is going through it. It's not right. It's not isolated to you, even though it is you, right? Handling it, and you have to face, you know, those challenges, but everyone's going through it. And, you know, like Bill, just looking at you, you look like the epitome of health. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known any of that, right? So it's just at face value, you just don't know what people are going through. And I think that's the piece for me. And even just every day, it's a lot to take in. I have to take mental health days myself. Sometimes I say, I gotta log off. I need a walk. I need to do something because I'm about to flip out. And that's just natural. And then, I mean, even when I was practicing clinically at the bedside, there were sometimes I had to walk outside the hospital. I'm like, this is too much. So I think it does affect you. If anyone is sitting here or wherever and saying none of this is affecting them, they are lying. It is affecting every single person, regardless of, to Martha's point, wealth, status, demographic, geography. This is affecting every single person in this country. So I think that's what's keeping me grounded, that this is holistically a country. I mean, we're all human. We're all going through health issues. We're all having to make decisions between insurance and going to the supermarket. It's just, I mean, I have colleagues. We're worried now about the student loan issue that's going to come up, you know, this summer. They're afraid that that's going to wipe out their income. You know, it's just, it's always like a compounding effect of something. So I just think that people need to understand, even when you're going through the worst of it, you have to breathe and know that you will make it. You will make it, and it will be okay. It's not going to be 100% cheery and roses and pink lilies all over the place. That's just not life. It's not life. But I think remembering that you're not alone. And I think for you, Bill, as I hope and pray that you do have the support around you to assist in whatever you're going through, because sometimes just having that outlet, or even if you need that mental health day for yourself, Like
I took
no
a week
TV,
this week.
no, right. Don't do anything. No TV, no social media. Like social media can kill you. It really can. So sometimes you got to know how to log off. So I think that's kind of like how I stay grounded. It's just I have an empathetic heart. Outside of me being a nurse, it's just that's just me, and I care about people. But I also know that everyone's going through something. So if we gotta not lose the empathy. So
With everything going on in healthcare,
yes.
how does this affect women of color and problems with maternity? Because in a lot of states, you know, abortions are illegal, even if,
Yes.
and maybe I'm wrong, but even if it is a choice between the fetus and the mother. In a lot of states, even if the fetus there's no heartbeat, they're forced to carry it. I mean, I don't understand all of that. So some of that could be a lie, or, you know, so kind of break that down for us.
Yeah, it depends on the state. Some states are very strict with abortion care than others. I'm based out of Arizona, so we actually voted last November to make abortion at certain weeks legal. But like if you go to Texas or if you go to Florida, it's a different story. And now they're even trying to prosecute clinicians for helping in an emergency cases. So now you're putting clinicians in the middle of legal fights. It's not okay. But I do think for women, first of all, you know, there's more of us, and women use the healthcare system more, right? We're the ones, we have to carry reproductive health, pregnancy, postpartum, right? We're usually the health coordinators for elderly care, you know, our elderly family members or for children. So a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, there's usually a woman that needs health care. But then now you're layering in women of color. When all these OBs are closing all over the country, now women will either have to resort to midwifery, you know, or try to understand outside of the hospital how can they actually take care of themselves. So they're looking at clinics and other types of maternity care that is not the traditional, you know, in the hospital maternity care. Also, I think outside of just OBs closing, you know, women of color, as we've seen, especially past 6 to 12 months, they just are not being treated well in the hospitals. And it's been happening for years, by the way. This is not new, but now it's more visible because of social media.
Right.
Thank God people are now whipping out their cameras and filming things, but they don't feel safe. So why would you go somewhere where you don't feel safe? You don't feel like you're being heard when you're in pain. So that's also another layer of that. And then on top of that, chronic disease, autoimmune disease and hypertension and diabetes. Of course, we all know those disproportionately affect communities of color.
Yeah.
So it's just it's you know, I think, like I said, I think the biggest thing for anyone, you're a patient, I'm a patient, we're all patients. You advocate for yourself. If you don't feel safe somewhere, if you don't feel that someone is hearing you when you're telling them your symptoms, you have the right, and I have a whole video on this, you have the right to go somewhere else or request another physician or request another facility. You have that right as a patient. So, but it's going to be a lot of.
But do you remember the woman in Texas that was refused? She was in labor and they refused her, and I think she passed away.
There is in Texas.
I thought it was
so
Texas.
many stories. Yeah, there's so many stories. I mean, you have like the women that are in labor and they're in the hospital, but their labor's being dismissed. That's absurd. That's an emergency. That's absurd. But like you see stories like that, or the woman, I think her name's Mercedes Wells. She had to while in active labor and yelling. She was saying they basically discharged her and she gave birth on
Yes.
the side of the road.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about.
That's, luckily she's alive. She is alive
Okay.
and well. Her baby's well. You know, her husband's well, that I've seen. I just saw them on social media today, actually. But that's absurd. So, I mean, everyone knows this is not normal. That's just not normal. But my issue with it is that what are we doing about it? Are we holding those systems accountable? Are we holding those clinicians accountable? Or are we just saying, oh, well, it's just another day in America? No, that's unacceptable.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Martha, we're
I'm
going to
gonna
close
jump right
out
in.
the
Is that
show.
okay? Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah.
give me a second.
Oh yeah,
Give me
go
a
ahead.
second, Martha. So we're going to close the show with you and I. Dr. Cambria needs to go.
Yes.
Oh
but
So
man,
sorry.
that's
It's such a
Cambria.
good,
We got
I know
connect.
it's such a good, yeah, it's such a good conversation. I'm so sorry.
but I do want to ask this one question. So have you dug into the World Health Organization saying that they have a cure for cancer and for HIV after United States left? Is that a rumor? Is it true? Have you heard anything about that?
I've heard rumors. I have not
Okay.
heard truth to that yet. But I would not be surprised that I truly believe we've already had a cure for some time. It's just anytime you think you have something, and then anyone in medicine and science, you do have to test it. And it's hard to test on humans without, you know, all the logistics. So I personally think we are close to there or already there, but I have not heard confirmation of anything like that yet.
Okay.
But yeah, who and us separating from the WHO is a whole different conversation. But yeah, I think it's, again, we are in a time where we do have an administration, unfortunately, that does not believe in science. They don't believe in science. They are perpetuating that physicians and nurses and scientists are spreading propaganda about X, Y, and Z, and it's just not true. We would not go through decades of education and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to harm people. It's just not what we do, and it's not who I represent. So I think people outside of the cultists that are not believing what's going on, to your point, Bill, people need to stay informed. They need to stay informed. They need to see the patterns and trends of what's going on, and then make informed decisions. But it's just, yeah. But I truly believe we've had a cure. I really do. I just hope that sooner rather than later we can join forces back with the WHO, so we can get on the same wavelength as the rest of the world. Again, it's the World Health Organization for a reason, and make sure that we have those type of conversations and scientific developments so they can reach people. But yeah, right now, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Not with this administration. Hopefully things will change soon.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much for coming on. You have 6 minutes.
Thank you for having me.
So Martha, I know you had a question for Dr. Cambria. Dr. Cambria, I know you have 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to leave with? And Martha, what was your question?
Yeah, Dr. Cambria, could you, we're on LinkedIn. We're not really speaking a lot about healthcare. At least I haven't come across any lives that we're speaking about our own personal health journeys. And Bill, you always impress me when you share a little bit more about you and inspire me each time. I went through a mental health breakdown not very long ago, and I've shared a couple here and there, but not really in depth, right? There's a lot going on around us. So what are your views? Because you are very vocal, and I'm going to be following you soon on social media to stay connected. But I'd love to hear from you, for anyone that's listening, to get us inspired, like your why. And that's something that I've heard from Bill say before. What is your why?
My why is simply because I care for people. I care for people. That's my why. And even though, we're not related by any means, we just met today, but Bill told his story of what's going on. That hurt my heart that, you know, he has or he's nearing, chronic kidney disease. I had a mother who died of end stage renal disease. So it's just things like that. It's just we're human. And also my biggest why, I'm a big believer, and maybe this is my ancestral roots coming in of my great grandparents fighting in the civil rights movement and actually being so involved in that. I am I don't take any mess when it comes to bigotry and discrimination. And unfortunately, all of the policies we're seeing are bigoted and discriminatory. And it's just it's lighting a fire on me that it's just not acceptable. So if I can be one of the many voices to say enough's enough and we're not tolerating this, then that's what I'll do. And I'll continue to do it until my last breath. Everyone deserves healthcare. It is not a privilege, it's a right. Everyone deserves to be able to go to the supermarket and buy fresh produce and not have to check how much, it shouldn't be $200 just to get some lettuce and eggs and tomatoes. Everyone deserves happiness, and everyone deserves to live and not be scrutinized because they're queer or they're black or they're, of a different heritage or they're from. Right. So it's just, I think people need to get back to reality to saying we're human and we're all supposed to just treat each other with respect. And that's my why. And I think we've lost that piece, especially with this administration and perpetuating hate and just virile, and that's not who we are. We're not that type of people, and I wouldn't want to be associated with that type of people. So
exactly.
But that's my why.
Oh, love that, Dr. Cambria. Thank you so much, and I'm so looking forward to getting to know you more.
You did not disappoint.
We got to connect. We absolutely have to connect, and we have to do this. Yeah.
Love that.
But thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and I got you out on time. I promised. Have a good one, Dr. Cambria.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Wow, what a powerful conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So you talked about your not little, but just having to deal with your own mental struggles. I posted something. I said this to my brother yesterday, and then I posted it on TikTok. And what it was, damn, I woke up to that. And it doesn't mean that I want to harm myself, because I'm working very hard to make sure I have all my medications and all the other stuff. Yeah. But sometimes it's just like, I just can't take another day. I wouldn't harm myself, but if I didn't wake up, this isn't living for me. It's not living. I'm not living a life. And everything that I do, I feel like it's being critiqued. And I'm trying to offer as much love and inclusivity as I can, but I don't always feel like I get it back. People don't say sorry to me after they've offended me. I never get an I'm sorry, and that bothers me.
Can I ask you a question, Bill? And this is a question that I ask my folks that I serve and even my friends.
Yeah.
What is living for you?
Living for me is a multitude of things. So my life is totally turned upside down. So let's start there, right? I went to making over $300,000 a year to having no income. And I have survived for the past 4 years with only 1 year of a gig in between 2021 and today, 5 years. And now the wells run dry. And people always say, well, what did you do with your money? I survived for 5 years without a job, and I'm looking.
Mhm.
I'm looking every day. So what does living look like to me? I can tell you what my life used to look like. If I wanted to go see my daughters in California, I would jump on a flight and go. If I wanted to go out to dinner, I'd go out to dinner. I've been living with a few chronic diseases for the last 10 years. I just told my daughters this year because my in June my liver started failing, my A1Cs jumped up. You know, they were like, you can't fly, you can't go anywhere
Mhm.
because we don't want you in a crowd. And that's hard. I almost started crying just now. That's hard because people say things like, well, why don't you just go to work at Starbucks? I can't.
Yeah.
I fucking can't. And why do I have to explain that to you?
Mhm.
You know, it is, um, it scares me. The lack of flexibility scares me. I haven't paid my car note this month. I don't have car insurance, which means that in the state of Florida, that if you don't have car insurance for 30 days, they take away your license. So even if I were to get a job, I don't have proper ID because my license will say it's suspended or invalid. Even though I'm not driving my car, right? My car is probably going to get taken away. Every day I wake up to something else. This morning I woke up and the one thing that gives me joy is doing this with you. And StreamYard said, your payment failed. So I didn't know if we can go live. That's why I put my PayPal thing up there because I'm like, look, I don't know what else to do. By the way, guys, at William Rochelle 153, that's my PayPal account. If anyone wants to send 5, 10, whatever, you know, because it was gut wrenching yesterday when I went to pick up my meds and I got my Manjaro for the diabetes.
Mhm.
Um, and that was $30. And then the Telmisartan was 40.
Mhm.
There's $60 in my PayPal account. My bank account's closed. It's actually overdrafted. So don't nobody put no money into any place else but my PayPal because it's just going to go to the banks on fees and stuff like that. So this is not living.
No, it's not.
It's not living. And then people are like, go outside, touch grass. It costs fucking money.
Mhm.
You know, where am I going to? I can't drive,
Yeah.
right? I can't drive. Um, I walk my dogs because I live close to the beach. So my dog died.
I'm so sorry,
You,
Bill. Oh
this
man.
happened like in January. But what I'm saying is, in the last
Yeah.
2 months, my dog died.
Yeah.
My bank account's overdrawn. Um, I have no money. I haven't paid my car note. Um, I don't know if I'll have a place to live. I don't know how I'm going to pay my electricity. It's a lot.
Yeah.
This is not living, and people think
Mhm.
that when I say how much I've made, um, that it's bragging or that I'm not willing to. I would be an AT&T customer service agent working from home. Absolutely. I'd go into an office. Absolutely. I'm just not going to go into a high traffic area
Mhm.
that could possibly get me like I wouldn't work at an airport. You know, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Um,
Now, Bill, as you're talking to, like, experiencing my personal mental health journey, it's we have the physical and then we have the mental, right? we can apply to all the jobs in the world, all of them. But if we're not okay, we're not going to perform good.
But here's the deal. I am exceptional when it comes to business. When I'm working, when my mind is challenged, I sleep better at night. I'm not anxious. See, right now I'm more anxious because I have nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you have people that judge you, and I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
People that judge you because I post funny videos on TikTok. Why do I post funny videos on TikTok? Because I've applied to 90 jobs today. I've gotten, 5 rejection letters,
Mm-hmm.
and my electricity is about to get cut off. So to get out of my head, I want to laugh. I go on Substack with the Serenity and Bill moment. Why? Because it's silly. It's
Yeah.
not me trying to strategize. It's not me trying to think. It's not me trying to focus on all the hell that's breaking loose.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I woke up on the day that I couldn't afford my medication. The next morning, I woke up at 4:44. Why I remember that number, I don't know. I think it's because I thought it was kind of spiritual when I saw the
Yes.
444.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I never wake up in the middle of the night, except for to use the restroom, but like I was up. And I walked Bruno. I had 2 dogs. Now I just have Bruno, and he's evil. He's not a snuggle bunny. I walked Bruno at 4:40, like, like right after I got up. And then I came in and I turned on the television. And that's when I realized they had bombed Iran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that put me, and I had already stopped communicating with people. So I haven't communicated with anyone all week. My phone has been on Do Not Disturb. I can't take it.
Good for you. Yep. Yep.
Like nobody. Like I texted my daughter, and she said something. She said, I haven't wanted to talk to anyone right now. It's not you. And I said, take the time that you need, because I so understand that.
Right.
Because she's like, I'll call you tomorrow. And I'm like, no, take time for you. But I'm alone, Martha. There's nobody here.
Yeah.
There's me and a dog. I don't have any friends in Florida.
Well, you're never alone.
I get that.
And the reason I say that is because you have a lot of people on this platform that love you, Bill.
Do they?
And I will be PayPaling you some money. Tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow. But
That's
it is
sweet.
coming, okay?
That's
So,
sweet.
but I did reach out to you, and when you're ready, you let me know.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
And
I have to say this very clearly, because I do things without expectation, but then I get disappointed just in general. So a while back, I think it was December, early January, I had posted that I was open to work. And I said, hey, to a couple people, can you repost this? And one person called me and said, you have 30,000 people in your network. Why aren't you reaching out to them? And I smiled, cheerfully. I'm like, oh, you're right, I should. But what I was thinking in my head is, motherfucker, you are one of the 30,000.
you know what? Do a Kenny. Just tell
Like,
them.
like you're one of the 30,000. Don't tell me
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
in the future, give me 24 hours so I can see if it aligns with my brand. Are you
Mhm.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going through? And you reduced me to whether or not I align with your brand. Do you understand how that makes someone feel? I've never said that to anybody. I would never say that to somebody. Never.
Yeah.
Never, never, never. And I don't ask for things. I'm more of a giver
You are.
than I am someone that will ask you for something.
You are. And the reason I say that, Bill, is you are a giver is because the people that give the most are the people that hurt in silence. Okay?
Absolutely.
Not only do you hurt in silence, but it starts appearing in your health.
I'm scared.
And that has to stop. I mean, only you can say enough is enough and block. My therapist actually shared this, and I'm gonna pass it to you. The people that are not there for you, if they're putting you down, if they're saying mean comments that is hurting your heart, block them. They
But
don't need to be.
I don't think that they're intentional. And I will share this, and hopefully she doesn't get mad. Well, I won't share her name, but one of my friends is like, they're not for you. They're about themselves. And I don't like to think that. I just think that right now everyone's under pressure. And I
Yes.
like to give everyone grace.
Yes.
But instead of just being the type of person that says, for some reason, people think they can say whatever they want to say to me. And I think it's because I come across as very but it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
I was on your show and someone said something and it literally hurt my heart.
Oh,
And no, don't be sorry. But it hurt
I'm
my
here.
heart.
Yeah.
It hurt my heart. Because I've never recovered from COVID financially.
Yeah.
And so during that show, I said, I have to leave. But I came back the next week for you guys, right? But the person that said it could have called me and said, you know what? I didn't know that it would trigger you so much. That would have been enough. Because it triggered the fuck out of me. To say that I could have planned for the demise of my company. I could have planned better about, having to fire 50 people that worked for me for 12 years. It felt like family. And you're talking about bubblegum and storing Skittles. I'm like, you're not understanding. You're not understanding, and you're not saying I'm sorry.
Yeah. And some people don't understand.
Yeah, I get it.
They don't, Bill. And that could be frustrating for us, for us, because we didn't grow up in, I know I didn't grow up in money, right? And I know many of our friends
I was
here,
rejected.
right? And we understand what poverty looks like. We felt it and all that. We know the depression that comes with it, and we know it affects our physical health. And then we're very prone to the sensitivity of what's being shared.
Yep.
And so, but we're in control of ourselves.
Yeah.
How much are we going to allow? And this is something that I learned myself too, Bill. And I keep going back to this because I just dealt with my own mental breakdown. And it's like, what am I in control of? I'm in control of Martha. Bill, you're in control of Bill.
Absolutely. But Martha, you and I both know that sometimes that's a heavy weight to carry.
It really is, brother. It
It's a
really
heavy
is.
weight to carry.
It is.
And I've always felt, and I think this is what people need to hear from me.
Hmm.
From the earliest memories of me, I've always felt disposable, meaning that disposable, disposable. You know, I've been kicked out since I was 12 years old. And that was because I'm gay. My mother couldn't deal with it. I know exactly why she didn't want me. I know that. I was not a bad kid, but she couldn't, that was against her Christian beliefs. She didn't want to you know, what would people think about her? Like, I'm just over it.
Yeah.
And it occurs especially when you are in a position of power. You recognize that everyone loves you until you're not. And again, in every step of my life, I've made sure that everyone around me rises up. I've taken people from $12 an hour to $120,000 a year.
Hmm.
And given people under the age of 30 3% shares of my company, because I felt like it was them that helped me to get where I was.
Yeah.
But when you can't do things for people, those people are not there for you.
Yeah.
And that's shocking over and over and over again.
Hmm.
And each time it occurs, I have to lift myself back up. And people say, "Oh, you're being too sensitive." No, I'm being as the most real as I've ever been
Yeah.
right now in this conversation. I don't know why. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I can't lose anymore. You know,
Yeah.
I can't.
No, you can't. And right now you're a priority, Bill. That's it. You are a priority. Um, these other voices, they gotta go.
Yeah.
I mean that. Like, you are priority, and you have to say that to yourself. I matter. I am important. I am loved. I am nurturing. I care. Everything. Just pour that love into you. You pour so much love into everyone around, but that love has to be right here.
Yeah. I
And I'm telling you from my own experience, because
no.
everything was not working out, Bill.
Yeah.
I understand. I was literally in a motel when I moved back to California. Everything was falling apart. I was suicidal. Okay? I was on the floor. Suicidal.
Yeah.
Okay? I get it. Like, I'm getting emotional because I felt asking for help, the help at the school system, they were like, "Oh, here's a list of help." What am I going to do with this list? I can't even think straight. I need you to walk me over there and help me. They gave me a parking place to go park my car. And so I know now, like, there is so much more to live for. And the people that I didn't open up to, there was reasons why I didn't answer that phone. There was
Yeah.
reasons why I didn't open my door. But there was reasons why I did open the door to the friends that are here on LinkedIn, that actually you can feel who's there, who cares. And it was not monetarial. It was they were there because they actually cared. A phone call to talk to vent. But it took me to find, okay, I got this out of my chest. Now I got to get up. I got to get my ass up and I got to move.
Yeah.
And I did. And I went on to start a program here locally.
I'm proud of you.
But I had to fall. Like, I was giving out so much, Bill, in Texas. Okay. I was giving. I was donating plasma to get money. Okay. I didn't share that with friends here, but my friends that know me, they know.
How much do you get for donating plasma? Because I'm not averse
You
to
know
doing
what?
it.
It was not that much. I think it was like 50, 40 bucks, 50 bucks, but it was money. It was paying
Right.
a bill. It was giving me food to have on my table because I wasn't applying myself to the systems that I was helping other people because I was ashamed to say that I needed help. And I'm saying this here because I feel comfortable, but it's embarrassing. It was embarrassing, but now I'm like, it actually has empowered me to help the unhoused community even more because I know the help. And now I'm going stronger as I'm going in. And in the healthcare, just for you, Bill, there's resources. Maybe you're not tapping into those resources.
I've
And
tapped
that's,
into that.
and I
That's
don't
how
know. I
I,
don't know. But,
yeah,
you know,
I've tapped into housing programs, to help pay my mortgage. I haven't heard back from them yet.
okay.
I did that. They told me they couldn't help me with my electricity because they were going to help me with my mortgage, but it hasn't gotten paid yet.
Mm-hmm.
So what's occurred is all the way up until the end of December, everything was paid. And then that's when the bank account got closed and left and right things started just bouncing left and right. And it's hard for me to keep focused when I'm just getting negative news. Oh, your Netflix account bounced. Not a big deal. I don't really watch Netflix that much. I'm more of a YouTube person. But from a mental standpoint, every time one of those things gets closed, it's like a little cut.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel at my age like I'm failing. And I'm trying to
Stay above
get
water.
I'm trying to get through every single minute by minute.
Yeah.
And every time I do, I'm going to go back to my dog at 8:00 in the morning. I had posted, and it just happened to come up like, someone commented on it, but I had posted, today's going to be a good day. I haven't even left my bed yet, but I know it's going to be a good day. And I posted that at 8:00 in the morning. By 9:30, I was leaving the crematorium crying by 9:30. And that's how the last 60 days have gone for me. It's like, what the fuck else can happen? Then I get healthcare. Then I can't afford the medication, right? It's just a clusterfuck. And for people out there, and I'll say it again, that aren't paying attention, these things are really, really affecting people that you don't even realize, because most of us have a way of not sharing and turning on when the cameras come on.
Yep.
But right after you and I hang up, the lights are going to go off. I'm going to walk my dog. I'm going to take off this shirt, put on a hoodie, and lay on the couch. That's all I can do. Like I don't have any money to go anywhere. Like, where am I going to go? For what reason? I can't go grab something to eat. I'll walk to the beach. That's beautiful. I can sit there with my dog and hug him, but that's where I cry.
And it's okay to cry, brother.
That's where I cry,
It's okay.
and Buster was my little love bucket. Yeah. Bruno don't want to cuddle me. I'm so mad at him. Like, he just doesn't want to do it. But anyway, I want people to, if I have a final wish, I want people to really recognize others and understand that sometimes we have all the tools in the toolbox, but those toolboxes aren't working right now. And I would ask anyone before they judge me to go through 3 years without any type of income. When I say any type of income, I mean unemployment, you know, anything, and see where you are mentally after those 3 years. The fact that I'm still in my house, the fact that the house is still standing, the fact that today the lights are on, you know, that's great. But I've never lived like this, except for when I was in my 20s, you know, which that's how we all lived in our 20s, you know. But
Yeah.
at this age, this is not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Anyway, I'm so sorry, people. I know that I turned this into my own personal pity party. Someone else out there probably needed to hear the same thing. You are not alone, Martha. What do you want to share before we
Yeah.
take
So
off?
it's not a pity party. You know, you're going through something, and I'm here, and I would like to see what I could do on my end. To advocate, to find resources, to knock on doors. What can we do? I don't know where you put the PayPal, so so is
It's
it in
right
the
there at
comments or
William Rochelle 153. It's my
where?
name.
Oh, it's your name. Okay, I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
screenshot of this. So
And
okay.
and and I'm going to respond to Felipe. And these are the types of things that aren't helpful. What have I learned from the failures? First, I'm not a failure. So let's start there. I'm a survivor and I'm a builder. And I have reinvented myself 3 times. 3 times. I've been out of the house since I was 16. And I've made more money than most people have made during that period. I didn't go to college. I didn't have that guidance.
Mhm.
I was thrown to the wolves. So what have I learned from the failure? My business closing was not a failure. That was COVID. But what you don't get or understand, my friend, is that in 2010, I left LA, quit my job. I was making more money then than what I was making now. When I say that I did great things, but what happened in 2010? The economy dropped. And I am someone that made great money in emerging growth companies.
Mhm.
So who got hurt at first? Emerging growth companies. Why? Because the stock market crashed. Why? We had to sell the company because we didn't have the runway to do it. So I had 500,000 shares of a company. I quit my job in Los Angeles. I had several 6 figures in the bank, but at that time, everything dropped. So when everything dropped, what did I do? I reinvented myself and created a $26 million business. I created a $26 million business. So what have I learned? I learned that I'm resilient. I learned that I've never failed, but during certain seasons, I've had to reinvent myself.
Mhm.
And that's hard when you lose everything. Because in 2010, I lost everything. You know, the home got foreclosed upon. So think I'm triggered, right? And owning a company, building a company, taking it to $26 million is a success, not a failure. However, putting your resume out every single day and not getting a call back and people not understanding what you bring to the table, it's devastating.
Yeah.
It's devastating. So,
Bill, can
uh-huh.
I say something really quick before we go? I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
friends. As you were sharing, I have a quick question for you, and one last question, I promise. When you send out your resumes, how is your energy? Do
It's
you?
always good. So I try to believe that I put out positive energy and I think that I'm going to get this one. And I have the tools. I am spiritually grounded. And then at certain points, like today, like this week, it's how much more can I take? Because I've been doing this for a year now.
Yeah.
And people are, and I've spoken to people. I've, reached out to my contacts, I've reached out to my cousins, I've reached out to agencies, and they're like, wow, you're a unicorn, but no one's going to hire you right now because, and I'm like, I'll be a receptionist. And they're like, no one's going to do that because they're going to feel like it's a waste of money training you because they know what your real worth is. And I can't scrub my LinkedIn account. I mean, it's so prominent, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we definitely have to connect. Let me, I don't know. I'm going to see what I could do on my end to help. And then friends, and please share, share Bill's posts, share his lives, support him on YouTube. I mean, he's got 30,000 connections. We can help with $1. Just donate $1 to his PayPal.
But yeah, to my PayPal, because even Substack right now goes to my bank account. So it gets all eaten up. Thank you so much for listening to me, Martha. I'm so sorry about that because it went from
that's okay.
You being a guest to me venting.
We're here.
I love you for this. And I thank you for it.
I thank you too, brother. I'm here.
All right. Goodbye, guys. I'm going to change. Hold on before you go. I'm going to change my outro to be the same as my intro.
Okay.
And the intro that I chose today it's called Goodbye to Emotions. And, take it whatever way you want, but it's about, so I have two artists, Brixley and Big Willie. So they're going through a breakup. So this is really their breakup song. But I chose it today because we never know when the last time we're going to see someone is. And so when you talk about emotions and breaking up and love, say it to the person today. Say it to them now, because tomorrow's not promised. And with that, I'm out.
I did not know silence could be this loud. I still wake up reaching for your side of the bed, like my body has not caught up with my head. We said we needed space, and time would fix it, but distance only showed me what I missed. I replay every fight like it just happened, every word I heard but did not feel. I held it together where it looked strong, but fell apart where it was real. These emotions do not turn off just because we said goodbye. Love does not know how to leave without staying on the inside. I am standing in the aftermath of dreams I could not save. These emotions still know me, even as I walk away.
I see a shadow in familiar places. Songs on the radio hit different now. I learned how to read your breathing, but never learned how to speak out loud. I thought I had more time to change it. I thought tomorrow would always be there. Now the house remembers you better than me, and the nights feel unfair.
I never meant to make you feel alone. I just did not know how to show up whole. Now every word I swallowed is louder than anything I told. These emotions do not turn off just because we say goodbye. Love does not fade politely, it stays and asks me where. I am standing in the wreckage of words I could not say. These emotions still know me, even as I walk away. I want it forever, I just did not know how I would have protected. I wanted peace, could avoided the truth when it mattered. I thought holding on was enough, but love needed more than that. These emotions do not turn on, they just learn how to hide. They sit quietly in the corners, waiting for the right night. I can say I am stronger now, I can say I am okay, but these emotions still know me, even as I walk. These emotions in the space where only you can back. I can let you go, but you feel it safe to say. No one leaves unchanged by love, no one leaves the same. These emotions still know me, even as I walk away. I loved you the best way I knew how. I just learned to